Two decks that desperately needed an upgrade were Rosemon and MirageGaogamon, and with burst modes, we are finally see them getting the makeover that they deserve.
Everybody, are you ready? Bam!
What's going on?
Oh, well, I got into really good shape. Am I hitting the light right?
My opponent will be starting by hatching the Wanyamon and then playing the blue memory boost, so starting without a level 3 is definitely going to hurt them, and that search didn't help much either, only being able to grab the MirageGaogamon, and it passes over to my turn. I'm going to draw, hatch the Kokomon egg, and then Digivolve into the Pomumon. This does play a lot like Bloom, but with a bit more control to it. I'm going to play the Palmon and search the top 4 cards of my deck, and I'm going to be able to grab a Fairy and a Vegetation. Just checking, I'm going to grab the Sunflowermon and the Rosemon. I'm going to then pass turn by Digivolving into the Sunflowermon, and I will suspend it so that I can play out a Digimon. This is a very safe option since they don't have anything in Raising to come out. I'll do another search with the Palmon and then grab the Rosemon Burst mode, getting set up for that top end. My opponent is going to start their turn. They are going to draw the level 3, so they'll Digivolve into the Gaomon in Raising, and then they're going to Digivolve into the Gaogamon. I always have to think about that. And then they're going to play the Thomas to pass turn. With Rosemon's explosiveness, this is going to be pretty good for me if I see my pieces. Unsuspend my board. Digivolve into the red Vegemon in Raising, so I probably don't have what I want. I'm going to swing at security with the Palmon. I just set another Thomas for him, which will draw him a card. Then swing with the Sunflowermon. It's going to survive. I just want to get those checks in just in case I did get bounced to hand. And I'm going to play the Yoshino, which is 4 cost, passing turn on 2. My opponent's going to move out the Gaogamon, and then they're going to crack the blue memory boost. So they've probably got some shenanigans coming. Digivolving for 3 into the MirageGaogamon. The when Digivolving effect will bounce the Sunflowermon to hand and trash the sources, and that does gain him a memory from the Gaomon's Inheritable. Then he's going to Digivolve for 4 into the MirageGaogamon. That is going to bounce my Palmon to hand. Counting the cards in hand, I have 8, so he's going to gain 2 memory. So he does unsuspend here because of the MirageGaogamon Inheritable. I think he just misread it and thought that it was when a card is added to anybody's hand, not the opponent's hand. So while the Wanyamon does add a card to his hand, it shouldn't unsuspend the MirageGaogamon because of the MirageGaogamon's Inheritable. Gee, all these Gaogamons are getting to me. So he unsuspends, and then check is going to be red Vegemon, so he has nothing to worry about. He's then going to swing, suspending the Thomas to be able to unsuspend, and that's going to be another Yoshino, and then suspending the other Thomas and unsuspending again. It's going to be another Yoshino, so I am well kitted out now for my bursts and to gain some memory. He's then going to go into the burst by returning the Thomas to hand. He gains the 2 memory, and then he swings at security. He gets to pick some cards randomly from my hand with the new effect. I think that I have 9, so it's just the 1, and he gets to bottom deck that. So I don't necessarily get to see with the way that I'm doing it. So yep, check goes through and he survives, no problems there. So he inherently gets to unsuspend with that effect as well. And then he does his final check, which is just the Lalamon, and then he's going to play out the Thomas. This is the memory setter one, and that's going to set me to 4. Burst mode discards itself from the top of that stack. Now I get to move out my red Vegemon. I'll Digivolve into the Lilymon, and I suspend the Yoshino so that I don't lose anything from that. I'm going to suspend the Thomas with the when Digivolving effect, and then I go into the burst mode.
Look at me, world! And dad on my eleganza!
Returning the Yoshino into my hand so that that is a free evolution. I'll swing into the MirageGaogamon and then trash the top card because he has 2 suspended things. And now nothing on his field can unsuspend for the next turn, so I'm just going to drop the Pomumon, and that is a lot of things that happen very quickly. My opponent is going to hatch the Wanyamon and Digivolve into the Gaomon, and then I remember that I have to trash the top as well, getting it mixed up with the Leomon Leopard mode. That's my bad. My opponent is then going to Digivolve into the Gaogamon, and then they are going to pass turn by just playing the Sorai. This will mean that anything on my field that does not have a Digi-Evolution source will not be able to attack. Draw, unsuspend. I'm going to hatch my Kokomon. I might have a way out of this, so I'm going to Digivolve into the Palmon, just make sure I'm doing things in the correct order. I'm then going to Digivolve into the Sunflowermon for 2 and gain the memory back. and then I'm going to Digivolve into the Rosemon Burst, return the Yoshino to hand so it's free. Now that they have sources, I'm going to swing at security, trash the top card because he's got 2 things suspended. Then the MirageGao Burst is going to delete the Rosemon, but I can just swing through with the Sunflower, and that is game. So going into game 2. We did it. We hit 1,000 subscribers, which means I get to give away this box. So, woo! Fun times. Thank you so much if you have already subscribed, and to anybody who's new, you're in luck because we've got a giveaway going on right now. It is live right now. So from this video being uploaded till the next video being uploaded, so next week at midnight, Australian time specifically, all of this will be in the description. We've got a contest running, and the way that you're going to enter it is by just subscribing to the channel and then commenting, just to give you an idea of what to comment, so you're not like, give me the box. Just comment something like a card that you want a deck profile around, because what I'm doing is we got a comment asking for a Hawkmon deck list. It sounds easy enough to do. It's become a lot harder to make a cool, interesting deck around just Hawkmon. So give me a few ideas of some random bullshit cards that you want decks around, and I'm going to kind of make them verse each other so everybody's jank is on the same level. And, you know, I got BT13 for a while, so why not? So comment a card that you'd like to see a deck around, and make sure you're subscribed and you'll go into the runnings. The other thing that I have to say, because I can't just give away a box apparently, is that YouTube didn't give me anything to do this, but I have to say that as a disclaimer. After the contest is run, I'll announce who the winner is. They will send me an email to say, hey, that's me. Once they've reached out to me, the way that I'm going to verify it is I'm going to get them to edit their comment with something that I tell them to edit, so I can go in, verify, cool, I know who I'm talking to, and then straight away we can organize the delivery of all of that. So yeah, it's a little bit more logistical than I thought, but let's do it. And thanks for sticking around. Here's to some more. Bye. Game 2 starts. My opponent's opted for me to go first, so I'm going to hatch the Kokomon, and I'm going to Digivolve into the Terriermon. I'm just going to play out the green memory boost. So looking at the top 4, I've got a very similar search to what my opponent had last game, and I'm just going to grab the Palmon from that one. My opponent starts, so I'll hatch the Wanyamon and then Digivolve into the Gaomon, and then going to play out a blue memory boost. So they're going to search top 4, much better selection of options here. Grabbing the Gaogamon, they're going to bottom deck the rest, and they still have some memory left on their turn, so they're going to Digivolve into that Gaogamon and pass on 2. I'm going to draw. I opt to not move out and just play the Lalamon, just searching for some more pieces. Look at the top 3. I'm able to grab just the Rosemon. The other 2 are going to go to the bottom of the deck. And my opponent is going to draw and then just play out the Thomas, setting me back to 2. They get to draw 1 from the on play, and then I will draw for my turn. I'm going to stay in raising, Digivolve into the Sunflowermon for 2, and then swing at security with the Lalamon. It's another blue memory boost, so I've just gassed them up. Digivolve for 1 into the red veggie, just to make sure that they don't get anything additionally. And I'm aware that they might bounce me to hand if they go into the MirageGaogamon. So they're going to crack a blue memory boost, so it looks like they might. They do go into the MirageGaogamon, but it does not bounce to hand. He's just going to attack into it though, just make sure that I don't have things. Then they are going to Digivolve into the MirageGaogamon. It does cost 4. I have nothing to bounce, so I have to add my top card of security to hand, and then they gain 2 memory. My turn, I will draw. I'm going to move out the Sunflowermon. I will suspend it so I can reduce the evolution into a fairy for 2. So it only cost me 1 to go into the Lilamon. And then I get to play out the Yoshino for free. So lucky that I had that in hand. I'm going to crack the green memory boost so that I can Digivolve into Rosemon for only 2 because of the inheritables. And then I'm able to suspend the Yoshino, so I gain 1. So I'm still on 2. And then I am able to go into the burst mode. So I will Digivolve into burst mode, return the Yoshino into my hand, and draw for the evolution. I'm going to make a bit of a misplay here. I choose to swing at security rather than at the MirageGaogamon. So I'm going to do 1 trashing of security and then 2 checks because of the Lilamon inheritable. Then I'm just playing the Palmon out for 3. I'm going to search top 4 with the effect, and I'm able to grab 2 things there. So I'll grab the Rosemon and the Sunflowermon, but nothing can unsuspend from my opponent's field. I trash the burst mode because of the way that it works. And then he's going to hatch the Wanyamon egg and digivolve into the Gaogamon. If he does have burst, I'm definitely in a bad spot. He's going to crack the blue memory boost, and then he's going to play out another Thomas. So we might see another burst mode, but no, he's going to Ice Wall me. So it's a very good way of just stopping me from getting out that lethal. My turn, I will unsuspend. I'm going to hatch the Kokomon and then digivolve into the Pomomon, draw for Evo, and then I'm going to digivolve into the red Vegemon, just kind of setting up a secondary stack. Then I'll digivolve into the Sunflowermon, and I'm able to suspend it to play something out. I'm tossing up on it if I should or not, and I think, you know what, yes, I'll just make sure I've got things on board. I play out the Pomomon with that ability. My opponent is then going to take their turn. They're going to move out the Gaomon, and then they're going to do a bit of gardening.
Today's episode is about the seasonal decapitation of flowers, or as we gardeners call it, deadheading.
I'm going to start by swinging at security with the Mirage and suspending the Thomas to unsuspend. They get to draw from the Wanyamon inheritable. Top card is a Palmon, so they're totally fine. They're then going to add the suspended Thomas back into hand, devolve into the burst for free.
No. Wait.
They will draw. They get to bounce the Rosemon back into my hand, trashing the sources. And then they are going to gain 2 memory because of the number of cards in my hand, and then swing at security. They're going to make me, I think, discard 3 cards here. So I just check out, and they're going to grab what they want at random, and those 3 going right to the bottom of my deck. Hopefully I didn't need those. He then gets to unsuspend, and the top card is going to be a burst mode, but he's at 17 because of his inheritable, so he's totally fine. He's going to swing at security, suspend the Thomas to unsuspend. It's just a Pomomon. He's going to swing at security again.
Wait.
Salalamon, and then swing for game with the Gaomon. I'm going to opt to go first. I think that's a better play, and then I'm going to hatch the Kokomon and digivolve into the Terriermon. It's not really the line that I want to set up, but I'll play out the Lalamon for 3, hopefully get a good search off here, so we can see a couple of options. I'm going to take the burst mode and put the rest at the bottom of the deck. My opponent starts their turn. They will draw and hatch the Wanyamon, digivolving into the Gaomon, and then they're going to play out the memory set of Thomas, setting me to 1. Definitely a good idea to choke me in this matchup, I believe. I'm going to swing at security, just start getting some checks off. My Lalamon will die, and then I'm going to play out the green memory boost for 3. They do get set to 3, so I'm just going to move that now. And 2 Yoshino's going away. I do get to grab the Pomomon, but yeah, it definitely doesn't help that I've only got the 4 in my deck. They're going to move out the Gaomon, and they're going to do a super cool thing by swinging at my security, and then we both get to draw 1 from the Thomas and from the Gaomon's effect, and then he gets to draw another 1 from the Wanyamon. It's going to be the burst mode, so he does get deleted. Definitely a bit of card advantage at the start, though, is going to help him in the long run. He's going to play out Thomas and draw 1 for the on play, and then play out another Thomas and draw another 1. So definitely has enough Thomases for any burst mode stuff that he wants to do later. I'm going to move out the Terriermon and digivolve into the Sunflowermon, suspending it to be able to play out a red Vegemon. Definitely want to kind of get a board set up and hopefully end the game before any burst mode stuff happens. Digivolving into the Lilymon for 3, I'm then able to look at the top 5 cards of the deck and grab a level 6. But that's a complete whiff, so those are all going to the bottom. My opponent is then going to get set to 3, so just move that for them, and they're going to start their turn by drawing the card, hatching the egg, and digivolving into the Gaomon. Then they're going to digivolve into the Gaogamon for 2, and they are going to go into the Muck Gaogamon for 3, passing me on 2. So I don't really have enough to do everything that I would want to do on my turn, and they've got definitely a big threat. I'm going to hatch the Kokomon, digivolve into the Lalamon in Raising, and then I'm going to crack the green memory boost. So I go up to 4, and then I'm going to digivolve into the Rosemon for 3, so I can suspend one of the Tamers. Could have potentially snuck in to check with the Lilymon, but at 7k I don't want to risk it. I'm going to suspend one of the Thomases that he can just outright suspend to unsuspend one of his Gaomons. I'm then going to HPD, so suspending the red Vegemon to go straight into a burst mode, which means that I will not have to trash it at the end of my turn. Draw for the Evo, and I get to suspend another one of his Tamers, so I'll just suspend the other one. Then swing at security, I am able to trash 1 card and do 1 check. this is a burst mode I would get deleted, but I'm lucky that it is not. Digivolve into the red Vegemon in Raising, and then I'm going to play the green memory boost for 3. So I'm just trying to make sure that I set up in case this doesn't work out the way that I'm planning, grabbing the Pomamon from the search, and then my opponent will start their turn. They're going to draw and move out, so they've definitely got something planned. They're going to Digivolve into the MirageGaogamon, which does cost 4. They get to bounce the red Veggie to hand, and then they're going to gain 2 memory. Then Digivolving into the Burst mode, they get to bounce the Rosemon Burst, and the rest will go to trash. Gets to swing at security. He didn't gain the memory, which is a misplay there, and he's going to trash, I think it's 5 cards from my hand. So those are all going to the bottom. I do not know what he trashed. Just have a quick look, just a quick peruse, and then do the check. It's going to be a green memory boost, so that's definitely going to help, but he shouldn't unsuspend, so I just outline the fact that it's a latent field effect, so he's going to play another Thomas just to pass me at 2 and make sure that he's got something for next turn. Burst mode is going to Digivolve back down into the MirageGaogamon. My turn, I'm going to draw and move out. I'm then going to crack both memory boosts. I'm pretty confident, and that's when I realize, oh no, I don't have my level 5. He's gotten rid of my 5s from my hand.
Say goodbye to Exodia!
He hardly the cards from me, so I'm gonna have to search for one. So I'll play out the Palmon for 3. I'm gonna look at the top 4 cards. I get to grab the Lilamon and the Palmon. Then I'm going to see if I can work my way out of this one. So I did evolve into the Lilamon, going to draw for that. I can play out the Yoshino from hand, and I do have that, but I am in a bad spot. So I did evolve into the Rosemon, and that's going to cost me 3. I get to suspend one of his tamers, and I'm kind of relying on the fact that on any turn, if my opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, I can spend an additional thing. He's going to unsuspend, he's going to Digivolve into the Gaomon, and then he is going to start with his shenanigans. So Digivolving straight away into the Burst mode. He is then going to be able to bounce the Rosemon to hand, so that didn't work out. Trash the rest. Before he swings at security, we remember he does have to gain 2 memory. I've got 11 cards in hand again, or something close to that. So he swings, and then we're doing the effect. So he's going to discard down. It looks like it was only 10. And top card is Dimension Scissors. He gets to unsuspend. He's going to swing at security again. He gets to suspend the Thomas. He didn't actually need to because I've got another card in my hand. So now he gets to discard another card and unsuspend for free with that. But he swings at security. The next check is a burst mode. He's at 17 though, so he's totally fine. Swings, suspends another Thomas, and then swings for game. If I'd had that level 5 the turn before, then things might have been different, but wow, this was a great match to play in.